Running long distances can be challenging, but running a marathon is a totally different ballgame. So, how do you prepare for a marathon and how do you deal with the marathon during the race? So, let's talk about that. When I started running, I thought 10K was an amazing distance to run. Still now, when I do a training run, even though it's not uncommon for me to run 10K, it still seems like a great distance to run. Now, a marathon is more than 4 times that. Running 42.2 kilometers is an amazing achievement and it's a grueling distance to run. So how do you prepare for that? Number one, the biggest thing you need to do to prepare is training. You need to train and work at it to be able to run the distance. Now, this might seem obvious, but still, I meet a lot of people that say, oh, it's just a mind over matter thing. You just keep running and make yourself get to that finish line. And yes, there have been people that ran the distance without a lot of training, but this is an exception to the rule and not the majority. If you don't train and your body says, I'm not going any further, your mind can want to go on all at once, but your body will stop you from going on one way or another. So you have to make sure you prevent this. So we train, we build up our long runs, do strength exercises, and work our way to being comfortable running for longer periods of time. To start out, we want to see what is our starting point. You need to calibrate and see what distance is comfortable for you to run and start building up from that. This could be 5K or 15K, whatever it is. You need to start adding distance to your runs slowly from that point and keep adding every time that you're comfortable running a longer distance. You should also alternate your training runs. Don't only go for long runs. You want to mix it up by doing fartlek runs or interval runs, or just do a shorter distance at a faster pace. This is good to work on your speed, but it also mixes things up so it doesn't get boring. You're less likely to overdo it during your training, and it will help you to stay clear of injuries. When you're well prepared for your marathon, it can be, and most likely still is, a tough race. A marathon is not just a physical challenge, but a mental challenge as well. It's a long distance to run. Your body will want you to stop running at some point, but you're prepared. You've trained for this. You can do this. So visualize yourself getting to that finish line and know that when you start this race, you'll be done in a couple of hours with the medal around your neck. To give you the best experience during a race, make sure that you have good gear. This goes for everything that you wear and everything that you carry with you. Keep everything light and comfortable. Make sure that you wear good shoes and don't wear anything that you've never worn before. You don't want to be halfway through your race and find out that the tag in your shorts is cutting in your back, or the chafing of your new shirt is causing discomfort during your run. That being said, there are some things that you might not notice during your training runs, but after a much longer distance, it might become an issue. Chafing issues will become worse the longer the run lasts. I normally don't have any problems with this, but after 42 kilometers, it can really start hurting between my legs or my arms. So to help with this, you can use something like a Body Glide. This takes away the irritation and makes it a lot more pleasant after the race. Don't start out too fast on your race. I know this is a problem for me a lot of times, especially when I start at the front of my wave, but you should try to start out at the right pace so you can keep up that pace and sustain it for the entire distance. Drink water during your race. Now, you might not drink anything during your training runs, but this also may be something that you need to train. At first, I couldn't drink water while I ran either. I felt like it was sloshing around and it was uncomfortable. But especially for longer distances, your body needs the fluids. I normally take the water and power drinks that they offer at the race. Most marathons have plenty of water stations, so I don't carry my own water with me. I do bring energy gels and make sure I refuel during my run. You might be out there 3, 4, maybe 7 hours on your run. Your body is gonna want to refuel. So make sure you account for that and bring something that you know works well for you. For this also goes, don't try anything new on race day. It's a race and you might want to get to that finish line as fast as you can, but there's no shame in taking a walking break once in a while if you need it, especially if your race day ends up being on a really hot day. You don't want to overdo it and get overheated. Better to take a walk break and lose a minute at a time during your race than to collapse from heat stroke and not be able to finish your race at all. Those mile markers on the side of the road can have a psychological effect on your race. When you see a sign that says 28K, it can make you think of how much that is and how far you still have to go. A thing that I do during my race is I count up halfway and I count down the second half. The first half of the race, you're still feeling good, so the fact that you still have a lot ahead doesn't matter that much. Once you get halfway, you count down and you have 20K left, only 15, only 10. You know you can run 10K. That is that easy training run now. 8K, 6K, 5K. Running a 5K is that short run that you do when you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to get a run in. So you're almost done. It just sounds a lot better than I've done 37K already and I still have to do 5 more. Now the distance is the same, but thinking about it in a more positive way, I find helps during the race. Positive thinking goes a long way, so focus on getting to that finish line. See yourself crossing it and receiving your medal. Don't give up, just keep going. You've trained for this, you've got this, and you will make it to that finish line. You're probably not finishing the marathon in 2 hours. Very few people can. You might have set a time goal for yourself, or maybe you just want to finish the race. Most important thing is that you train for the race, that you're prepared to run a marathon. Then all you can do is your best and push yourself to reach the goal that you set for yourself. Now until next time, get out there and run.